Hello friends, welcome to NPL Week 4. We are up against Crobat for the win, aka Danza, and his LA Nidokings. You can see his team right there. Before I start, be sure to check out the NPL fan server and the NPL YouTube. They're building up subscribers, building up fans and all that stuff, and come join if you already haven't. You probably have. But regardless, I could jump right into what we're doing. His team's scary. I'm going from like the most threatening stall team I've ever had to play to like Double Genie. Double Genie's spooky, man. But as you can see, I don't know why it's on this, why it's not on the EVs tab, but here we are. As you can see, this Kang set's kind of cool. It's got a curse, and curse is nice for things like the defense boost is nice for Koba and for Lando, Torn, whatever. It's nice for Gyarados and for Victini, and yeah, and it's better than Helmet because I don't take. It's better than Power Punch because I don't take helmet damage, and the defense is nice, and the speed investment, I believe, lets me outspeed things like Sylveon after a curse, which is lovely, because I'm expecting no speed investment. Sylveon, which you will see. I guess I should go over the biggest threats. Biggest threats are the Double Genies. Gyarados kind of destroys my team. Cobalion destroys my team. Victini actually destroys my team because my fire resist is a Greninja and a Terrakion, and that is it in terms of resisting fire on my team. So yeah, we have that to look forward to. Yeah. Dusknoir is annoying. I don't think it'll come, but in his draft analysis he mentioned that Fizz-Def Dusknoir is a really great counter to like strong fighting types, and the fact that I have a Kang and a Terrakion makes me think that he'll want to bring like Fizz-Def, Will-O-Wisp, Dusknoir, but I'm really hoping he doesn't, because it's not a good mon, and it doesn't actually stop a Kang if I'm like a Toxic Wish set or something, or subset, so I'm unsure of whether he'll bring it or not. I guess I can go into the rest of the team. Let's go to the meme first. Let's start somewhere different. Here we have Skarmory. Yeah, that's a Skarm set. Akaberry for Victini, Weak Armor for Speed, Rocks because rocks are nice. It chews any hit from any of his mons. Yeah. Aside from Bandit, like Adamant Victini would like murder this thing, but aside from that, it should be good. Setting up rocks on the Sylveon as it switches out, it would be amazing. SD as like a Cobalion close combats me, or a Scarf Victini V creates me or something, would be awesome. Brave Bird Oko's a Cobalion after, or +2 Brave Bird Oko's Cobalion after it CCs me, which is really cool. Yeah, aside from that, everything's pretty straightforward. The speed on there is so that I outspeed Scarf Torn at when I'm at +2, and also if I'm at neutral, I outspeed a Scarfed no speed Sylveon. Now that's important because going into my other mon, I have a Trick Scarf Cress. Trick Scarf because Victini is a problem, and I want to make sure I outspeed it and like pop subs and things like that. Sub Victini is very scary, Banded Victini is even more scary, and like Scarf Victini is extremely threatening because it just outspeeds my whole team. And that's why the Scarf's there. It kind of helps me with all of those options. The Shadow Ball breaks Victini subs, even if it's max speed F, I believe. And Ice Beam is for things like Lando and Torn. Lunar Dance is to heal up any of my mons. And Trick is to trick the Dusknoir or Sylveon, which are likely switch-ins, maybe even the Cobalion or something, but yeah, most likely the Sylveon or the Dusknoir, depending on what comes as the defensive mon. That's pretty much all of that. Once rocks are up, and if Victini's chipped down enough, Comfy just wins, which is why I have this Draining Kiss Comfy. Combine Taunt for the Sylveon and for the Dusknoir, and technically for Gyarados if it's like a defensive set. This investment is really nice. I forget what exactly it's living. I do know that I 1v1 Cobalion, because I should be doing like 30% or something. I forget if that's at +1 or not, but with the Babiri Berry I can 3-hit KO the Cobalion while it cannot 2-hit KO me, so that's cool. That's basically my win con. Here we have another meme is defensive Greninja. Shout out to Verd. He suggested it. I ended up really liking it. It takes a bunch of random things like U-turns from Lando, U-turns from Torn. It's a pretty good check to Gyarados once it's Mega'd, because low kick's really nice for it. The speed's good because it outspeeds his whole team. Scald is nice, and then Gunk Shot hits the Sylveon, which I am expecting to have to deal with. But yeah, T-Spikes are there in case he brings like a lot of his fat stuff like Mamoswine and Dusknoir and Sylveon and like a like a bulky Victini, like a substitute Victini. That's sort of the main reason T-Spikes is there over anything else. He has a lot of flying threats like Gyarados, Torn, Lando, Cobalion technically, because it's immune, but it really depends on what kind of team he brings on whether that's good or not. And then last but certainly not least is Dual Dance Rockium Terrakion. He doesn't have a switch into this. I just need to find a good opportunity to set up and go for a game. And basically I need the Cobalion. I need to know if the Cobalion's Scarfed or Chople. And then I need to know, and then I need the, what's the word I'm looking for? I need the Sylveon chipped, and if he brings Dusknoir, I would need that chipped as well. And any potential sashes broken or things like that. So, that's that. My team, his team, I've been going on for a long time, like 7 minutes, that's wild. And we're just going to go into the battle. As you can see, he left Lando at home, but he did bring the Dusknoir, so that makes me think Fizdef, maybe Rocky Helmet, Wisp, Sylveon potentially also defensive. It would make sense that it's defensive, maybe like a Calm Mind Pass or like just a Wish Protect set to sort of heal up Victini. Maybe, I don't know if it gets Trick Room, I don't think it does. But Trick Room also ran across my mind. Torn looks like it's Fightium, maybe Flyinium. I don't know what its last coverage move is. I know it would be Hurricane, it would be Taunt for the Crest, maybe Knockoff. Most likely Defog, because that's his only Defogger and he has a Victini. So that's likely. I don't know what kind of Victini it is, but but Band seems likely. Maybe Substitute, like Subtoxic or something. Gyarados is DD, obviously. I don't know if it's defensive or offensive, but that's that. And Koba looks like the rocker, but I'm not sure. So it makes me lean towards what's it called? It makes me lean towards Chople. I was saying like Koba in my head, and that was not correct at all. So I saw the Dusknoir, and I was a lot more afraid than I was in mocks, because it came to a mock or two, but it never really did anything. But suddenly seeing it on this team, on this sort of team makeup, and I'm super scared. I'm already super scared of the Victini, so like the rest of it's just awful. I lead with Cresselia in case he does lead with the Victini. I'm just going to Shadow Ball, predicting the Victini to come in as he taunts me. That's fine. I'm just going to Shadow Ball again. I want to see what he wants to do as he U-turns. Now, in comes the Sylveon. I'm going to go into my Skarmory as he reveals Baton Pass, and that's a problem because now the Sylveon can just get momentum every time my Skarmory comes in, because most of my team is forced out by that Sylveon, aside from Kang and Comfy. So I really have to catch it doing something interesting, like passing up a Wish or Hyper Voicing or something. And here, I go into Cress expecting the taunt or the heat wave as he does taunt, and here I'm just going to Ice Beam, try and scout damage. As he goes back into Sylveon, I get to go back into my Skarm as the Torn comes back, and here is kind of a weird play. I'm expecting him to attack me with like Heat Wave or something, or to U-turn to sort of read my Cresselia coming back in because I did it last time, and to sort of like, I'm expecting the taunt, so naturally the common response would be to attack this turn, predicting the taunt to come again. But hindsight, he doesn't really have to click taunt because he doesn't know I'm offensive. And so he taunts me again as I try to get a cheeky SD, as I try to get cheeky rocks up, because rocks are super important in this game. I'm just going to Ice Beam, and he finds out that I'm modest, or that I'm Scarfed. I don't know what he finds out, but in comes Victini and I have to sack something as he clicks U-turn, and that's just as terrifying. He goes into Cobra, and that's kind of spooky because he close combats, and he close combated, which was interesting to me. Going hard into Cobra didn't really reveal anything, but him going into Cobra here makes me think, okay, sorry, let me continue to my turn. I'm gonna click Trick because I'm like, he's either Scarfed after clicking CC, or he's just gonna Volt Switch and kill me. And so he switches out and he doesn't Volt Switch, which makes me think that he's actually choiced in some way. At least that's what suddenly comes into my mind as I pass it a Trick. And that's wonderful, because now I get leftovers, and I get to Shadow Ball here as he in fact baton passes into the Torn. Now this is interesting for me as I'm just going to sack my Crest to the U-turn, which is not lovely at all, as he goes into the Cobalion, and he clicks Taunt, and that's not fun because I expected him to Volt Switch or to CC me, or then to SD, or then to do something that would just give me a turn to sort of get a SD up. Maybe I should have clicked Brave Bird, but I also didn't expect him to pack double taunt. So he taunts on my SD, so my cheekiness has been revealed, and I'm just gonna Brave Bird here, and I do a clean 40. I'm gonna stay in expecting him to click, expecting him to click U-turn this turn, and I get a ton of damage, which is fantastic. He's going to switch out as I forget what I end up doing. I Brave Bird again in case he wanted to stay in, and he switches out into Sylveon here as I get up my rocks, and here I'm going to click Roost. And yeah, it was just a series of plays that were just kind of random. I Brave Bird here, expecting him to like Will-O-Wisp or something, or I don't know what I was really expecting, but I didn't know what he wanted to do, and I was at -1 attack, -1 defense. I still felt pretty bulky, and I didn't want this to go to waste. SDing would be silly because he could just Brick Break me and drop my defense lower. So I wanted to scout what kind of like Dusknoir this is and get some chip on it. So I do 20% and see that's max Fizz Def, and I see that he's Helmet. He does burn me, so cool. I'm going to Roost up, unfortunately losing my flying typing as he ends up Brick Breaking me, and that was weird. I was not expecting him to run Brick Break of all things, but whatever. I go hard into Comfy on the predicted Brick Break again, and I can Calm Mind here. I'm expecting him to switch out as he goes Haze, and here I Calm Mind again. I'm like, alright, he has to realize that I could just taunt him, right? Eventually he's gonna stop clicking Haze, and he's gonna like Will-O-Wisp me or something, but no, he just keeps clicking it. So I'm just gonna run the Therapy off my burn as he Hazes again, and I'm gonna taunt this turn because I'm sick and tired of him clicking Haze, and I'm just going to Calm Mind here. I know I can live any hit, so I'm just going to Draining Kiss up as he defogs away the rocks, and that's not fun. I'm just going to Draining Kiss expecting the Victini to come in. The Victini takes a ton. I'm going to go hard into Greninja because I know I live anything. And from the Terrakion damage, I knew it was Adamant Band. So this was the only thing I had that could live a hit. So in comes the Gren like a champion, chewing that 86%. It was calc to live exactly that. The Scald damage tells me that it's likely Fizz Death, and I get to go into my Skarmory, and he crits me. And this is kind of big, because like I said in the builder, Skarm outspeeds a no-speed Scarf Sylveon, which at the end of the game he informs me that he was no-speed Scarf Sylveon, so I would live this Hyper Voice, and I would be able to either Roost Up, or Roost Up. If I lived, he would probably stay in, because he was under the impression that he outsped me because he was Scarfed, but I would Roost Up on the Sylveon, or then get Rocks up. Either way, the rest of my team can suddenly pressure him. If Rocks are up and like nothing really lives anymore, I could just go like hard into Kang and start firing off moves or whatever, or I could do things that would prevent the Rocks from leaving, either by roosting here or by setting or whatever. But alas, instead of being given a chance to win, I now lose my Skarm to that crit, and maybe it's justice, maybe it's not. I'm just going to Curse, I believe? No, I just Drain Punch, expecting the something to come in. I don't even remember what anymore. But here he makes a weird play, and he Brick Breaks, and I was really confused why he Brick Breaked instead of, like, anything else, because my easy play was Comfy there. Like, it was absolutely free to just go into Comfy, but he just Brick, and I tried to be aggressive and make a switch into Greninja. Like, I figured he'd I don't know, like Wisp or Haze or something toxic, double out into something. I didn't get it. I really didn't understand that play. Like, I didn't expect what he just did. It just seems so weird to me, because Break would do like 5 to Kangaskhan, and I just don't know. So in comes the Victini. There's nothing I can do about that. I hoped for like a Mega Crit. I have to sack my Kangaskhan here, meaning that Kang got to do literally nothing this game, so shout out to Kang. In comes Terrakion, and my only hope is that he's not Chople, and that I can just Rock Polish, kill this, and sort of go from there. Unfortunately, I don't know if that was a high roll or a low roll or what, but yeah, that's what we have. And if Rocks were up, this Victini was dead, by the way, just FYI. And like the same series of turns would have had to happen. So that's whatever. And this Victini would be dead, and then he couldn't break this Comfy, like I said. But alas, I have to Rock Polish because because of the Torn, and so I have to just make this play and hope that I crit the Cobalion. And I don't crit the Cobalion, spoiler alert. I do 54, and he's Chople, and he kills me with the close combat, and I lose 5-0. And that is my game against Danza. It is not exciting to lose 5-0 after having all my losses be 4-0, 4-0, and then 5-0. I beat Gypsy, but that was due to a very just awful game in general. But anyway, that will be this week. Good game to Danza, and while the crit on Skarm was super unfortunate and debatably set me back super far, he just brought a really good team, and he played it really well, and yeah, I don't know, I have nothing else to say about that. It's just a loss on my part. So I will catch you guys next week when we play Ace of Base in the Anaheim Altarias. Till then, peace.